Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Cammy and Karen Go Keto, where we are talking about many different things that are affecting our life in the transition to a ketogenic lifestyle. And this is not a diet for us. This is not just having to do with food. This is a way of life for us. So there's lots of different things that we talk about on our channel. But today we're going to be talking a little bit about Omad, one meal a day. And I am working toward Omad. I'm working toward Carnivore. I'm not quite there yet. And I can't go 24 hours yet because at about 17 to 21 hours, I start to get nauseous. I start to get a headache and I start to feel dizzy. So that's my body telling me I need to eat. And so I've been eating a little bit of my carnivore meal at that time and then waiting a few more hours to finish it off. So we're kind of just talking a little bit about OMAD, how it's going on in our lives, and the pros and cons of it. So Karen, what do you think?
Well, so I did OMAD a while ago, and I was very successful at doing it for a few weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks. And
But when you were working at Outback, you were doing it all the time.
well, yeah, during this one particular time period, yeah, because I was working so hard, it was just fit into my schedule. And I think that's one thing that's really important when you do it, is to look at your schedule and make sure, if you want to try it, to make sure that you support yourself with your schedule. So like if you have a really big presentation or you're going to be taking care of kids or something, and um, I would not do it at that time, not for the first time. I would really schedule it really well so that you give yourself enough of a buffer to make it an easier process. You don't need to make it a harder process. It's not hard. It just takes some getting used to, right? Just like giving up foods that we normally eat and then don't eat. So I would also say that the Steak and Butter Gang is a great place to go for because they talk about carnivore and they talk about fasting, and that's sort of what OMAD is, one meal a day. It is not just it's not it's a tighter eating window generally. And I really question, did prehistoric man, I mean, they probably fasted for a day or two. And I know I've had it where I've just forgotten to eat. It gets so easy that, but that's because I always make sure I eat enough. I eat past full. I eat to full and sometimes a little past that, especially if I know that I want to try to wait another 24 hours. What I might recommend for you, Cami, is don't look at it as an OMAD. Look at it as a longer fast. And so mentally prepare yourself to say, oh, I'm not going to go 24 hours. I'm going to go 30 hours. And so that way, when you are pushing it, you're getting your 24 hours. You know what I mean? So like, let's say you are going to go from 11. Normally you would do like 11:30 in the morning to 11:30 the next morning. Just say, okay, 11:30 today I'm going to eat, and then I'm not going to eat again until 3 tomorrow. And see if it just is a mental shift for you to go, oh, look, I made it to 11:30. I just couldn't make it till 3.
Yeah, I could try that and see. I just don't know physically what's going to happen to me. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
A lot of it could be mental.
And the Steak and Butter Gang always say, if you start to feel bad, like if you feel like you're not getting, if you feel faint or they say don't white knuckle any of it. Don't white knuckle fasting. Don't white knuckle, uh, you know, that aspect of things because that's not the purpose of it. You've got your lifetime ahead of you. Make it so it's a smoother transition. And sometimes, I know that for me, when I've done it, it's like I can do it easily, do OMAD, and then one time do a 30 hour fast or 36-hour fast. And then the next time I've got to eat 3 days in a row where I'm eating 3 meals a day because I just feel that hungry. And I think that that's a good thing for your body based on what they talk about. They really talk about online, all the doctors that are into fasting, Dr. What's his name? Jason Fung,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Ken Berry, Anthony Chafee. If you look up their websites, they are real. Dr. Sean Baker. They're really good about talking about fasting and how important it is for you, like autophagy, where that's where your cells kill off and your body is regenerating, and that you need autophagy. If your cells are not dying off, they need to be killed, because that's how they turn into cancer or get bad or whatever. They're living too long. So you want them to kill off and get fresh cells started. So I think that you really don't hit that until you're at that 30-hour window.
Hmm.
I've done one 30-hour fast and one 36-hour fast in like the last 4 years, let's call it, maybe 3 years. So that's one of the areas where I would like to practice, and it's something that I want to get into. I've just started to do the OMAD again and enjoying it, so I think that it'll be easy to do a 30-hour fast, but maybe I'll do that when I come out to San Diego for the Low Carb USA conference, um, during my flight. Maybe I'll plan it so that when I see you, when I get off the plane, which is around 11:30, that's when I'll eat my meal. So I'll count backwards from that for my eating window.
Yeah, so we're playing in this game. We're playing in our little game of fasting, and I just can't believe I'm playing in the game of, intermittent fasting because I have an eating disorder. So, but yeah, we'll see how it goes, and just slowly progressing and having fun
And,
with it.
and I do want to say, I think that this actually has to do with perspective. And I think you've mentioned this a few times, Cammy, because you have said to me so many times, there's no way I can do fill in the blank. And that was your perspective then. And now your perspective is completely changed, right? You just have a different point of view and say, oh, yeah, I can do that. In fact, I'm doing that.
Yes. And the other thing that I think is interesting is how the body and the mind work together, and how I'm learning how to pay attention to what my body is doing physically. And, I still have these high insulin levels, and I think that that makes it more difficult to fast. I've been, you hear that it's harder to get into ketosis. It's harder, you get hungrier. And so I'm kind of in that window where I have to just kind of struggle a little bit until I get over the hump.
Yeah, I think that the high insulin turns off leptin or ghrelin or something like that that gives you the cues of hunger cues. I think that that's one of the issues with that. All right, guys. We'll see you again in the next video. Have a great day. Subscribe,
Take
like, comment.
care.
Thanks for supporting us. Bye.
Bye.